Hey YouTube, Geoffrey here in Stockholm, Sweden. I am killing a few hours before I have to head out to the airport to catch my flight back to New York. And it's been kind of a quiet weekend. Just hanging out in capital cities of Scandinavia and getting a train between the two, which felt longer than I remember it feeling. But hey, trains are nice, it was comfortable. Spent a lot of time meditating and spent a lot of time reading. I was reading the thesis of a friend who has been researching some of the impacts on sustainability of immigration. And it's very appropriate that I have found myself here in Sweden thinking about immigration, because Sweden is kind of the perfect example of where we stand in terms of mass migration in our modern world. I looked up some quick statistics, and since 2007, over 95,000 people have moved to Sweden each year, and that has increased to a peak in 2015 at about 160,000 people. Now it's down to about 140,000 a year, but that's still a lot. That influx has pushed Sweden over 10 million people, and basically all of Sweden's population growth over the last decade has been migrants and immigrants having kids. Before this whole wave of migration, there were actually more deaths than births in Sweden. Sweden was going to be shrinking if they didn't start bringing in a lot of people. And in some aspects, that's a good thing. You don't want your population totally to collapse, but at what point does this stop being Sweden? I mean, at 150,000 people a year, a population of 10 million is going to get overwhelmed pretty quickly. And I don't mean that argument just in terms of keeping Sweden a place where everybody looks like Vikings, but there's a lot here that isn't just racial or ethnic or even economic. I mean, a lot of people do come here for the economic prospects, but it's not why I came here. At least why I came to Europe. Indeed, my economic prospects were probably better in the US. There's something else here that a lot of us have been chasing. It's cultural. It's a culture of egalitarianism, of openness, of non-confrontationalism, cosmopolitanism, of tolerance. And ironically, those things could be Europe's downfall. I'm standing in front of Riksdag, the Swedish parliament, and many of the decisions that have come out of that building have been in favor of basically unrestricted immigration. And the argument has basically been the people who want to come here are coming from very tough situations, and is it really fair to tell them, no, you can't come chase a better life here? Well, I think we often forget the other side of that is it really fair to tell your average Swede, I'm sorry that your family and your ancestors have worked very hard for many years and done some ethical and some not so ethical things to create this incredible society, but you're gonna have to share it with people who don't look like you, don't sound like you, don't think like you, don't act like you, and are probably going to make this a little tougher for you. Is that fair? Is any of this fair? No, the world's not fair. None of this is fair. That's what being a human being, it's tough. We have these tough questions. We have to have these tough conversations about what do we do? How do we handle this situation? How do we make the world better? And I would argue that just opening the borders and letting those who can get here and try to make a life for themselves, no matter what that means, that's only addressing a symptom, causing another symptom, but not really addressing the problem. If we just open all our borders and let the world in, there are a lot more people outside of Europe than there are in Europe. We'll just end up destroying what this continent has created, what this continent has gone through so much shit, so much warfare, so much genocide, destruction, and they've gotten here after all of that. And if we just let in whoever wants to come here, stand the risk of destroying that, losing that, without actually fixing the problem, which is improving the rest of the world so that they can enjoy the same things that we do, in their way. So, this may be extremely controversial, but I don't think it is. If you want to move to Europe permanently, sorry, but do it the way I did it. Prove that you can make this place better. Not that you need this place to make you better. At least I think I proved that. Find out when I get back. Next couple months I'll be in the US as I figure out my visa situation. And then it's back here to Belgium. Talk soon.